Welcome back to the Level Up and Learn podcast. It's where we try to be better people and have some fun along the way. The emphasis is on try. We're not going to promise anything. I'm your host, Nate Bright. I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, and I'm a social media cynic.
Social media cynic, huh? Well, I am Andrea Rice, your co-host. I'm a single mom. I have a background in psychology and real estate. And with a passion for all things spiritual, I like to bring a little woo-woo to the table.
Little woo-woo. We need a little woo-woo from time to time. I love it. So, Andrea, we're going to dive into the world of social media. Are you generally pro social media or anti social media at this point?
It depends on the platform. Like I hate to generalize all of social media, but I feel like there's some good things out there on social media, and then there's some things that I definitely try to stay away from.
What was your first social media platform you dabbled in?
Oh, Facebook for sure.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
But I would say that's the one that I like the least now, right?
Mhm.
Like that. Well, dating apps, I like those the least.
Dating apps, the worst.
The worst.
So, mine was MySpace. You never had a MySpace account?
Oh, you know what? That's so long ago. I forgot about it. Yes, that probably was MySpace.
That counts.
Just for a hot minute.
Like you had Maroon 5 on the wall singing about whatever, and you had like glitter emojis that you put on your wall, and you had your top 8 that would like ostracize some of your friends and keep some of your friends happy because they're number 2 or 3. And Tom was always in there. You like eliminate Tom, he always pop back up.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal with it? But what is Tom doing right now?
He's probably divorced, got the dad bod. Who knows?
Tom is absolutely probably. He is anti-social media, I bet, because you don't hear from him at all. I don't think he's anywhere. He disappeared.
Tom, we would like you to come on the podcast and tell us what you're up to if you're out there.
He's definitely listening. I feel like he's got nothing else to do. He sold for $45 bazillion, and guess what? MySpace is not even a thing anymore. Yeah, I think it's like it was strictly to the music industry, and then it kind of fizzled away. So that's fine. So, Andrea, what type of experience have you had with social media? Anything jumps out at you?
I like to look at my Instagram and, keep up with the Kardashians on there. But something interesting I find about social media is how different it is from generation to generation. My mom is on Facebook, which I said is my least favorite social media. But she will.
Like, I thought you were going to say it was your least favorite family member. I'm like, oh, she's going hard. She's going hard.
Like, Mom, don't listen to this episode. No. She gave me life, so she's my favorite. But she will look on Facebook and see what someone I know is doing or posting, and then she'll write it down on a piece of paper so that the next time I call, she can tell me, oh, did you know so-and-so posted this? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I think it's really interesting that it's like just used by so many people in so many different ways. And I just feel like, depending on what generation you're in is really what kind of platform you're drawn to. Like, I do not do Snapchat, but like young people, like they're really into Snapchat, right?
The kids that love to snap.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. So, I count YouTube as social media as well. It's one person communicating to a bunch. But like what's really interesting with social media in general is what's turned it in my brain a little bit is the algorithm. The idea that we're going to serve you things to hold your attention, but like what gets your attention are things that are like incredibly out of the ordinary, the extreme viewpoints, all this great stuff. And I had two different YouTube pages, one that was personal and one that was business related. And I found this was happening, I think it was like in 2020 during the election year. What happened was I had one of my pages went so far right into the conservative land, and one that went so far left into more of a left-leaning liberal type of viewpoint. And the algorithms, like I didn't fix it. They were on their own journey, right? And so I toggle over between the two, and I don't know why it happened this way. But then you come to realize that like, hey, we're all looking at the same events, but the story that we're tying to each one dictates how we think and how we perceive these things. And so we're like the crazy person in the basement that has like newspaper clippings and photos and everything taped against the wall. And then we're tying the red string to connect these events in there. It's like this
Yeah.
crazy, cork board full of like madness. And depending on which way the algorithm wants to take you, it will take you left, right. But we're all looking at the same facts. And it's no wonder why we're so divided on this, but it's like
Yeah.
that algorithm I know is meant to like keep your eyeballs and keep you entertained, but oh boy, like to me, I'm like danger, 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 right?
Oh, it is a huge danger, I think, especially for children, because I have a 16-year-old, and for a while she was like really angry and like, well, a lot of teenagers are angry, but um, a lot of the content she was being fed on social media, I think, were contributing to her viewpoint on life and people and her overall mood. And then somehow she must have gotten in the algorithm changed a little bit, and all of a sudden it was sending her like how to make a million by the time you're 21, right? Like, and so like she got on this investing kick and like, really, I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to get great grades. And it's all because that algorithm changed. And I don't like it took her in a different direction. So it's really is like whatever you're feeding yourself on social media is going to impact you in a big way.
It's interesting. The other day I clicked on one video that was somebody being arrested for shoplifting. And I love instant justice. One of my favorite TV shows of all time was To Catch a Predator, where they'd
Oh,
be a creepo going to somebody's house
yeah.
and they'd show up like with condoms and some beer like in a bag, and then they walk out the front door and get tackled by like 10 agents, and it was like they always had the weirdest stories, the weirdest excuses for why they're there. But I love instant justice, so I clicked on this and I watched somebody get arrested for like shoplifting and try to talk their way out of it or whatever. But then like for the next 2 days, nothing but shoplifting videos,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, cool. I clicked on one, and now you want
Yeah.
to serve up 100 of them. It's crazy. All right, now it's time to dive into some social media fun facts. Andrea, hit us with the fun facts.
Okay, so I don't know how fun this is, but it is definitely a fact. So social media is meant to be social, right? And a study published by the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that the more time people spend scrolling on social media, the more they perceive themselves to be socially isolated. So it's really doing social media is meant to bring people together. And then the more time you spend on it, the more isolated you feel. And I can definitely see that, but it's just kind of sad that that's what it's become.
Unfun fact alert. Meow, meow, meow. I totally believe it because there is a negative correlation with how much time I spend on my phone and generally how amazing my life is. Like,
Yeah.
like how much fun I have that day, what I'm into, am I connected with people in real life or connecting with this inanimate object, which is my phone.
Yeah.
100% believe it on that one. All right. What's another fun fact?
Okay. It is estimated that over 81 million Facebook profiles are fake. That's a lot of fake profiles.
How many profiles are there in general? Is that like 10%? It sounds like a lot.
I
There's
think
only
I read somewhere there's like a billion, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know
Now,
what
does that count the people who have 4 filters on their pictures? Because that's my favorite. You see a person in real life and you legit jump scare because you're like, oh my gosh, like you look like Shaquille O'Neal in real life. You look like Tyra Banks on your Facebook
Mm,
profile. Like, what's up? Or your Instagram.
yeah, some people definitely take that too far.
I feel like if companies have to, because like right now with AI, a lot of companies are having to divulge whether something you've built has been built by AI or built by humans.
Right.
And I think there should be like another little logo or something that pops up in the bottom of the screen that says like this has been hit by glamour shots or whatever, like
Now,
some type of filter.
I don't know. As a woman in her 40s, I will say I like a little softening of the features.
Have you ever seen somebody been like, I know you're in real life. That's not you. That's
Oh, yes, yes. I did. There was a woman I worked with that, I saw her every day, and then I saw her social media profile, and I was like, whoa, that does not look like the same person at all. Like, not at all.
Yeah. Do you ever tell them, hey,
Oh no,
sorry, I didn't recognize you in real life?
no, no. I think someone hacked your account because this person doesn't look like you.
They should be easy to find because I think they're a supermodel. But yeah, that's the problem. What's another fun fact? Hit us with another one.
Okay. So this is interesting to me. Okay. One survey found that approximately 53% of millennials would rather lose their sense of smell than their technology. Would you agree?
I would rather, well, because to me, smell is the least valuable of all my senses. Like not being able to smell, not only is not a detriment, it's probably a superpower. Because you could work at the dump, you could be a bathroom janitor or not bother you. You could live anywhere in San Francisco and be
Right.
okay, right? They have that poop map that's out there. You can walk around like it's normal, right? So I think I think I would make that. I mean, like I think I would lose my sense of smell before technology. What would you say?
I think smell is a weird thing to equate it to, so I'm not really sure where that where that survey was going with that, but um I don't know because I like the smell of flowers, and when you smell, you have better enhancement of your food. So I don't know. To me, uh, I don't know. I don't
What
know.
they call the sense of smell your olfactory
Yes.
sense or something? Some
Yeah.
kind of weird. Okay. But if you can't taste, it means you could eat for nutritional value and not
Oh,
necessarily for
true.
flavor. That could be another bit. That could be another superpower. I think
It
I
could
think
be,
we're onto
and it
something.
would be good for weight loss, like because there's really no enjoyment.
100%. So I wouldn't lose sight and I wouldn't lose
Oh,
hearing.
no.
That's off the table. I would rather have those, but smell I think can go.
All right.
All right.
That's legit.
All right, now let's hit some rapid fire trivia. You're gonna, I guess, you have a few for me. I'm gonna try to see if I can guess and get this right. What do you think?
Okay. So, yes, I do have some trivia for you.
I will 100% get it wrong, but we'll see.
How much time do you think the average person spends on social media every day?
Ooh. Okay, the average person. Okay. Um, this sounds like a lot, but I'll say 4 hours.
That is a lot. It's 147 minutes or roughly 2.5 hours.
Okay, that's still a lot.
That is still a lot because if you think about it, like, what do they say? If you just dedicated 15 minutes a day, every day, to a skill, you would be an expert in like a year, right? So
Okay,
think of all of the things you could achieve if you were not on social media for 2.5 hours a day.
wow. So you could level up, is what you're
Level
saying.
up.
I mean, like, watch this. Obviously, watch this,
Yes.
but then go do something else with the other
Yes.
2 hours.
Or you can just listen to this and walk around doing, juggling or whatever.
Awesome. What
All
else
right.
you got?
So the
So I
second one
failed that
is,
one. So, like, first of all, like, I'll ask my wife little trivia questions. I'll be like,
yeah.
how much do you think it costs to buy a platypus on the dark web? And she'd be like, $4 million. And I'm like, you ruined the fun in this because you guessed so high that I can't surprise you.
You're like, it's $3,000. Wow.
What a deal. We should get a platypus. Let's go.
I can see how that would work in your favor, though, if you want to do like home renovations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so next, what is the name of the bird on Twitter? Like the little logo on Twitter. It has an actual name. What is that bird's name?
I would say rip because it should be rest in peace because there's no more Twitter. What?
Oh, that's right. That's how out of touch I am.
Rest in peace. Tweet.
Well,
I'm gonna say Tweety Bird. Let's go.
no, it was Larry. And do
What?
you know why it was Larry?
Why?
After Larry Bird, the basketball player.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's obscure.
Yeah. It's so random.
Does Larry Bird have a Twitter account? I mean,
Well, there is
an
no
X
more
account?
Twitter, so no, he doesn't.
Larry.
Oh, Larry.
All right.
All right, and
Well, I
then
failed that
this,
one too. I'm like 0 for 2. Let's keep
yeah,
score.
you really, really took the zing out of that one. All right, so this last one is, what is the most posted food on Instagram? Because people love to take a picture of what they're eating. So what food is the most post it.
Okay, I'm thinking about the type of people who would do it. I'm thinking like millennial, kind of crunchy granola people. I'm gonna say avocado toast is the number one food on Instagram.
You know, that is what I would have thought too. Or something like sushi, right? Or no, it's pizza.
Oh.
And I don't even find pizza to be an interesting photo as far as food is concerned.
Okay. Have you ever had bad pizza?
No.
I've never had bad pizza. You
Yeah.
can't mess up pizza. Like I limit the amount of pizza I eat, but there's some good places locally that is off the chain. Pizza might be my favorite food. And I think that's like every third grader's answer.
Yeah. Everyone loves pizza.
But I've never taken a picture of a slice of pizza.
Next time I eat pizza, I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to you.
Send it to me. Okay. Awesome. All right. So now there's a lot of social media sites out there. They cater to every type of person, but there are sites that should exist but don't exist. And so right now, Silicon Valley, I need you to pay attention because we're going to hand you gold.
Yes.
Your next 1,000,000 followers are going to come from one of these sites. We're going to give these to you. This is just a service of our. We are givers.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to tell you.
It's giving season.
It is. 'Tis the season. Let's go. We're going to give you, 4 or 5 sites that should exist just for you. Okay. Number one, the site would be called Linked Out. And it's a professional networking for people not looking for jobs. And it's strictly for people who don't have to work and want to rub it in everybody else's face. Like they need a place they can go.
Yeah.
Everybody else talked on LinkedIn. They need Linked Out.
Nice. I like it.
Right.
Yeah. I have one for you. It's called Procrastination, right? And so it would be people posting what they should be doing, but instead they're scrolling through social media.
So while you're here.
Yeah, it's the site for people who like to procrastinate.
I love it, which is everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be real.
If you wait till the last minute to do it, it only takes a minute.
Sign me up immediately. Actually, I'll just sign up tomorrow. I'll get to it eventually. All right. You've heard of Bumble. I'm going to invent Humble, which is a platform that exclusively exists for humble brags. Did you casually run a marathon? Are you baking a souffle for the first time ever? This is where you subtly let people know in a very humble way how amazing you are.
I like it. All right. I've got one more. So this would be a site. I don't have a name for it. So people in Silicon Valley, you'll actually have to do that part of the work yourself. But it's a site where you post either audio or you can just post like a script of what you overheard when someone butt dialed you. Because do you ever get a butt dial and it's a butt dial, but you just hang on for a long time because you're like, I want to see if they say or do something really weird or commit a crime or something?
Have you ever heard them talk about you on a butt dial?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the universe being like, girl, you need to hear this. I don't remember what was said, but that did actually happen to me once. That's why I always listen. You gotta hang on there. So this would be a great place for that. Because could you imagine some of the crazy stuff that people would hear?
So I lose interest too fast to hang on and just listen. But there have been a couple of times where it's gone to my voicemail and it's like a 37-minute voicemail. And you're like, something went down during this time. This is like fodder for blackmail. I'm using this.
Yes.
All right. For the last thing that should exist that doesn't currently exist, it's less of a social media page and more of a say a plugin, a tool you can use alongside social media. And it's called the No Filter Ninja. And it uses AI to remove all filters on social media pics. So you can see that person you're about to go on a date with 0 filters, how they look in the morning.
No.
What do you think? Does this scare you to death?
No. Yeah, this is frightening. I do not like it.
But if they say yes, it's true love, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You are not on board with that at all.
No.
I would love to see it. All right. So now it's time for our social media meme review. Andrea, are you ready to be memed?
Mimi.
All right. This is our first meme.
Okay.
It's SpongeBob SquarePants reading a book, and it says, staying informed on one side and staying off social media to preserve my mental health.
Yes. Yeah, it's a balancing act, right? Like, I got to go on there and see what's up, but the problem is you get sucked in while you're on there, and pretty soon you're sad, eating a bowl of ice cream.
So sad. You know, it's funny. It's like you could say the same thing about like 24-hour news or whatever the case
Yeah.
is. But it's like I feel like our brains are not wired. I mean, like, first of all, we are wired to see threats, first of all. But we're not wired to see threats from all over the world all the time and to be so worked up about things that don't really affect us in our personal life. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you want to stay informed to a certain point, but I feel like if the news is big enough, it will find you. Like
Yes.
nobody's like, what happened on 9/11? Like everybody knows what happened on nine
Yeah.
eleven. It was everywhere, right? It will
Yes.
find you if it's big enough.
Did the Kardashians have another baby? You will find out. You will
You'll find out. You'll find out when they call and ask for paternity.
Yes.
If you call me one more time, Kim.
Oh my God, Kim.
Oh, she's the worst. All right, cool. Next one. How about this one? Going on YouTube just to watch a 5-minute music clip. 5 hours later, you're watching a tutorial about how to talk to giraffes. Oh my gosh. The biggest rabbit hole on on the planet is YouTube for me.
I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube, but yeah, it definitely happens. Like when I watch reels on Instagram, oh my gosh, like 3 hours later, I'm like, I got to get off of here.
And you know what? I think there's something in your phone that you can have that triggers after a certain amount of time that locks that particular app. Maybe that's what I need to do because YouTube will get me faster than anybody. And like if I'm on the treadmill and I'm watching it while I'm doing that, that's great. But man, in bed, that is wasted time.
Yeah, for sure. And you don't get good sleep after that.
No, because you're all worked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. From one of the greatest movies of all time. This is all right. First of all, do you know the movie? And second of all, do you know this character's name?
No and no.
What? Shut up. Okay. Your assignment tonight is to go watch Napoleon Dynamite. And this is Kip. This will be a waste on you. But I'll like try to say it like Kip and I'm gonna fail.
Okay.
She likes my Instagram pictures, so I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious. Like, oh my gosh, it was dead on. Nailed it. Kip is the man.
Yes. I will say that's true. That's how you get into a relationship now. That's how I met my first boyfriend after my divorce.
Really?
He started liking my Instagram photos. And then I would put more photos up to see if he would like them. And then he would. And then I was like, oh my God, he's going to message me like any day now because of how many photos and posts he liked. And boom, I was right.
If he had the no filter ninja, he would have known the truth. He would have known what's going on. Because you posted like the filtered up ones, didn't you?
Oh, for sure. But I mean, obviously, I don't need it. That's just a little extra.
Yeah. I don't need it. Like it's good. Like it's good on its own. All right. So now I'm giving you a homework assignment. You have to watch Napoleon Dynamite. And you're gonna be like, you just wasted 2 hours of my time. But it's good. It's so bad. It's good. Next one. Facebook cover photo. And this is the actual photo. Yes.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad pushing. Although I would like that lawnmower. It looks pretty awesome. You see what's coming behind you with the rear view. I haven't cut my lawn in probably 5 years. But if I did, this is what I would.
This is how you would do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you can do a lot of things when you crop effectively.
You ever see somebody crop a person out of their picture, but they don't really know how to crop? So you get like a cheek and an elbow.
Yeah.
Like, I know whose elbow that is.
And you're like, who is that? Why did you crop them out?
Be like, I look good in this picture.
whenever I take a picture for someone, I'm like, you can crop this later, like,
Yeah.
obviously.
Now, I've had to take pictures for lots of groups of ladies. This isn't a sexist thing, but like
Hmm.
everybody wants to see the picture when you're done.
Oh
And you
yeah,
have to take like 5 of them when the first one was great, but just one person didn't love I mean, like their face. And I'm
yeah,
like, Becky, not everybody's looking at you. You are not the center
that's
of the
it.
world
Yes, she is.
because Becky's going to crop out all those other ladies
Yeah,
and have
for
the picture
sure.
for herself. This is my hot picture. Right. All right, now it's time to give you some tips for how to get the benefits from social media without the downside. And tip number one, I've instituted these in my life. Again, I've got this love-hate relationship with social media. I understand that if you're going to be in business and you want to put things out there, there's no better way to reach people, but you want to make sure it gives more than it takes. So put in screen limit times. The process is a little different, but it can be done with both iPhone users and people with lower standards, those Android users out there. You can limit the screen time on any particular app, and that's all in your settings. Number two, this is what I did with Facebook. This is why it's amazing. You can actually hide every individual from your feed on Facebook. So when you go onto Facebook, you don't see everybody's updates immediately. But if you need to see them or stalk them, you can click on, I mean, like you can search by name and then look at their profile intentionally instead of just stumbling into things. And that's been awesome. Now, LinkedIn has this thing where it tells people that you've looked at their profile,
Yeah,
and I hate it.
I
Like,
hate it
I
too.
want to look up all types of people on LinkedIn, but I won't
Yeah.
do it because I know they're going to be able to see
Hmm.
me. And if you want to pay $40 a month, you can make yourself invisible. But like, I'm not paying $40 for LinkedIn. Come on now.
Maybe linked out, but not
Link,
LinkedIn.
linked out maybe because I'd be independently wealthy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even
Yeah.
need it, right? If you could ever see somebody who was looking at your stuff, can you see that on Instagram? Can you see who's looking at your stuff
You can see
if
if
they
they
like,
watched your story.
if they've watched it? Okay, all right. Well, that's another hint, I guess, that you're
Yeah.
getting stalked.
Yeah.
Have fun.
But you can't see how many times, so you can watch it as many as you want.
Hey, put on infinity scroll. And speaking
I
of
love it.
scrolling, if you find yourself hate scrolling or doom scrolling, block that person immediately. You don't need that type of negativity. It's fun for a second, but then it gets real toxic and weird. So if you're looking at somebody and there were people that I had that I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so obnoxious. I can't see I can't wait to see what they do next. Just block them.
Yeah.
Do it for your mental health. And then eliminate 100% of negative content on YouTube. When I'm in my YouTube algorithm and something pops up, say political, we are going into an election year 2024. This may be something you need to do. You can block every single politically charged channel, and I just do it immediately because that will be the biggest. It will suck you into the hole and make you hate the entire world, or at least 50% of the country, if you follow that along. Like any of the tips you use to like rein in social media, Andrea?
Well, just to kind of piggyback on that last one, I don't really look at Facebook anymore because it was too much of just, people trying to get attention and a lot of negativity. But I do love my Instagram because I've kind of like just curated it with all positive things, right? Motivational things, either people that speak about positivity or positive quotes, those kind of things. So I actually feel better a lot of times when I look at my Instagram because it has like all positivity, but you really have to like kind of be purposeful in curating that.
So we talked about average use on social media, and you said it was like 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah.
Are you above the average or below the average?
I think I am slightly below, but I would like to get it down even further. What about you?
Oh, regular social media, I would say below. If you factor in YouTube, I would do a lot of that when I'm listening in the car. I'll listen to something, usually
Yeah,
educational only, and
that's
shoplifting
right.
videos. That's it.
And shoplifting, of
But
course.
that's it. And then cat videos occasionally. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think if you throw that in, I'm probably right at the average. But I'm not on Instagram. I need to probably be on Instagram. I don't want to be a grandpa, the get off my lawn guy immediately. I need to probably have a presence there at some point. But all right, now it's time for the Believometer, where we take a statement and we rate it between 1 and 5 on how much we believe in it. 1, we don't believe it at all. 5, this is the gospel. We're going to go with it, right? So the comment, and you can go first, Andrea. Social media gives more than it takes. Go. Between 1 and 5.
I have to go 3 because it's such a fine line. Like I can't say one way or the other because it's about the individual. So you can get out of it what you want, right? But you have to be purposeful with it. So if you're not, it's going to take more than it gives.
Okay, I'm going to go 2.
Okay.
Because I think it does take more than it gives. It takes your attention. It takes it takes your focus. And yeah, it's a tool. Like money is a tool. It's not good or bad. It's a tool you can use for good or bad. I think social media is probably the same thing. But the difference is there are the best and brightest people of the planet. They're not curing cancer. They're all trying to get your eyeballs on social media, right?
True.
And so I think the deck is stacked against you unless you have tremendous willpower and a lot of great boundaries. And so I think social media, there is some value to it. But I think if somebody went on a social media fast and put that time, to your point, into something that they want to improve on themselves, you would see a seismic shift in how they show up in the real world.
Sure, 100%.
That's our show today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us next time when we tackle another topic on Level Up and Laugh.